Welcome back to another video, guys. In this one we're going to look at rope work. So welcome back, guys, to another video, and thank you very much for joining me once again. As I say, in this week's video we're going to take a look at one of my favourite outdoor topics, and that is rope work and some fundamental skills and things I use all the time, both knots and also just rope work skills. So I'm going to take you in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here, and let's run through these. So the first skill, and one of the most important in my opinion, is being able to tie up and hank up your paracord into nice hanks that allow you to take the main end and just pull and pull and pull and pull all of the cord out, so you have all of the cord nice and loose. And there's many ways of doing this, but my favourite that actually allows this to work really well and is easy to do in the field. Get to the end, and it helps to tie a simple stopper knot at the end. So to quickly show you that, make a loop past the end through, and that's your standard stopper knot. That's just what we've got here at the end. And that makes it a little bit easier. Then we pass that between, leaving a little bit of a tail, not too big. The bigger it is, the harder it is to work with. A little bit of a tail. We pass that between our index and middle finger on, in my case, my left hand. I recommend this on the non-dominant. We open up our pinky and our thumb. We bring the cord round our pinky and then around our thumb. We end up like this, and then we bring it back around our pinky and back around our thumb, and we start to form a bit of a figure eight. And we keep doing this. As you can see, there's a little bit of a figure eight shape, so you're crossing it back and forward, and eventually you can start to move your hand as well as the cord itself. And you want to leave yourself a good portion of the end. Take this off our hand, form it up nicely, make sure that our stopper knot is towards one end, and then take our loose bit and start to wrap it round, pulling that nice and tight. Finish off with a simple half hitch, and there we are. All we have to do is pull on that and it completely unfurls. So now that we know how to tidy up our paracord in this case, or any type of cord, let's now have a look at some knots. One of the knots I find myself using most often is the taut line hitch. This knot allows us to tighten around an object, well, not around an object, but allows us to tension a line between two objects. So in this case here, I've got this tree. It's a decent thickness, so we're going to tie this taut line hitch. So what we do is we come round our tree, right, take our loose end, pass it over our standing end, run it through once on the inside, twice on the inside, so we end up with this little twist there. Then we come out to the front, and we pass it through once there, creating a bit of a half hitch, tighten her up, and there we have our taut line hitch. And what this allows us to do is adjust the tension, so we can pull it all the way up here, and then we can pull it all the way down to the tree. So if this was tied off on this side here to a tree, we can use this to tension it, and use that for something such as a ridgeline on our tarp. Next up, we have my other probably most used knot, which is the Canadian jam knot, or the jam knot, or the arbor knot. There's lots of different names for it. So in this case we're just going to demonstrate on a singular pole, but this works really well for connecting two small diameter poles together, or for cinching down things like bedrolls. I don't recommend this for really large timber if you're requiring it to stay firmly in place. In that case I would go ahead and recommend a full square or diagonal lashing, but for gentle connections or small timber such as this, the jam knot is fine. So again, we actually need to start with our little stopper knot, and what we do is we start to tie another stopper knot, but we don't fully tighten it. We pass it round our tree, or both of the poles that we're trying to tie to, and we pass our standing end through the loose overhand knot. We can then tighten up that loose overhand knot and try and get it to cinch down so that this knot is butting up against that other one. And then we can kind of ratchet this down, use it almost like a ratchet, and that stays firmly in place around our tree, not going anywhere. We can then put a little quick stopper or a more permanent stopper knot there to stop it coming undone. But also the benefit is when we need it to come undone, if we grab our little end and wiggle it, it'll come undone, and we can simply unthread it. What's probably my next most used knot is the clove hitch. Now, in our major lashings, like our square and diagonal lashings, we tend to start or finish with clove hitches, and that tends to be what I use them for. I use clove hitches for finishing off any kind of knot, really. So to tie the clove hitch, take one end of your rope or cord, take it around the tree or whatever you're tying to, give yourself a decent bit of slack, create an X. So we can imagine that this is either our lashing or this is tied off to something else. So we come round and create an X. We then come round again and we pass our end through the middle of that X, creating that shape there. And that is our clove hitch. It's as simple as that. You can then throw in another little security half hitch or second clove hitch if you desire. So there we go. That is my basic rope work skills, how to hank up, and my 3 most used knots. So there we go. That's going to do it for this one, guys, but I quickly want to let you know on video, as well as the posts that I've put out, I have made the decision to switch to Wednesday uploads rather than Sunday uploads, to give me a little bit more time to edit the videos and get maybe some slightly higher quality films out to you guys. So hopefully that doesn't affect anyone too much. It shouldn't. And as I say, I will see you every Wednesday now. But yeah, keep up the good support, guys. It's really appreciated. And keep leaving comments and all that. I love the community interaction. It's going to do it for this one, guys, so thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing as well. Until next time, bye for now.